Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. Thank you all for joining us today. In this one we got to see quite a bit of deer and tried out some new stuff and just had a good time out in the woods. The hunting has been super hard this year. I don't know why. We've been seeing deer every time that we've went out, but just getting a shot or making a shot has been pretty difficult this year for some reason. Usually we've at least got one deer by now. But before we get into the video, I want to go ahead and go into the verse for this week. And this verse came to me this morning while we were at church. And it was just a reminder to me. And maybe it'll encourage one of y'all that sees it as well. But this one, it's out of the book of Jonah. And it's Jonah 1, 1 through 2. And it says, "Now the word of the Lord came to Jonah, the son of Amittai," I think is how you say that, saying, "Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry out against it, for their wickedness has come up before me." And in this story, like I say, Jonah didn't want to and stuff. He actually ran from God and tried to hide from God just so that he didn't have to go do that job that God called him to do. But what it reminded me was that sometimes, like I said, God will call us to do stuff that we don't want to do, but we got to remember to try to look forward to the outcome of what he's calling us to do. It's just like in your regular everyday job and stuff, you're gonna have to do stuff that you don't want to do, but it's to better the company or to better you or your product or whatever it may be. But and it's the same way, like God will call us to do stuff, and there's a lot of times that it be stuff that we don't want to do. Just like, for instance, a couple years ago, I was asked to help out at the church with their Christmas play. And like I say, if you knew me very long, you'd know that's totally out of my comfort zone. That's not me. I'm not a play person or anything like that. And but I told them that I would do it, and was helping out with that. And they started practice for it in October, which is when deer season starts. And like I said, I didn't get to do much deer hunting that year. I was going to the practices on all the weekends, and throughout the week I was working, and wasn't hardly seeing any deer or anything. And I was starting to get frustrated because I was at the practices all the time and not getting to go do what I wanted to do. But I felt drawn to do it, and so I just kept on. And one day it got really hard because I finally saw a deer and shot it. It's like one of two deer that I've seen all year, and it's just a little bitty buck. But I was rushing because I needed to get to the play practice, and so I shot that deer, and it was just a little bitty tiny buck, a little bitty spike. And on the trail camera, it was an hour later, there was a really big buck. It would have been probably my biggest buck. Come up and was standing right over where I shot that deer. And I was kind of thinking to myself, whining. And I was like, God, why do I got to do this? Like, why do I need to do this play and stuff? And finally, time for the play comes around. We went up there, did the play, and at the end of it, the pastor had an altar call, and she said, if there's anybody here that needs to accept Jesus into their life, to come on forward. And I remember these two little girls come up, and I say little, they're probably teenagers, but got up and come to the front and accepted Jesus into their heart then. And it was like the Holy Spirit just spoke to me right then and said, that's why. that's why you did it and stuff. And like I said, it's just reminded me that whenever there's stuff that we don't want to do that God calls us to, try not to look at what you're doing, but look at the outcome of what good can come out of it. And like I say, that's what spoke to me this morning and stuff. And like I say, maybe it'll encourage one of you. Maybe one of you guys are doing something that God's called you to, and you're struggling trying to figure out why and stuff. Like I said, just think of the outcome that can come from it, the good that can come out of it. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and let's get on into the video, and I'll catch y'all later. See y'all.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're in the same field as the last video, but we're at the complete opposite end. Down on this end is where I found some rubs, most big sign, and we got to lay eyes on one of the bigger deer that we've had on camera here a couple weeks ago down in this bottom. And we're just set up on the edge of the wheat and just cut a little hole in this cedar tree for a window to shoot through. And hopefully they'll come on down this side. It's about 4:30ish, 5 o'clock, somewhere around there. Wind's out of the south, going north. It's about 75 degrees out. Feels like it should be a good evening. It's 6:42. I haven't seen a deer yet. The last time we saw him on this end, it was right before dark. We got around 20 minutes left. Alright, it's the next day, and we just got out of church, and we're gonna make another sit in the same place, but the wind is blowing the opposite way, so we're gonna move to the tree line on the other side of the wheat field, and that way it'll be in our face. I got a comment a while back that said you guys wanted to see a review on a ghost blind, and I just so happen to have one, so we're gonna put it up in the tree line and see how good it works. I haven't ever used it, so we're gonna see how that works. The one buck that we saw yesterday was trailing the nose pretty hard and stuff, never give a second look to where we were at or anything. He was just nose down going after the nose. And then I had a trail camera set up over there and have pictures. Bucks chasing pretty good, and so I got a bottle of the Tink 69 and the doe and heat. I'll put that, not really to attract them, but maybe get him to stop, and so I get a shot. And then I got a set of rattling horns. I might try that a little bit. It's kind of windy. I don't know if it will or not, but might get me a shot. But when I get out, when they're unloaded, then we're gonna head out, get the blind set up, and see what comes in today. Set up. We're kind of in this little drop, so we set a little bit lower than the wheat field, and we got, this is the blind, this is the back side, and you just got your little shooting windows through each one. And I think how it's set up right now, my head and everything is below the blind, so it should be good. Alright, come around. The whole deal with the ghost blind is, all it is a mirror, and it's supposed to reflect the ground up to make you, pretty much hide you in the wide open. But right now, man, right now it's really reflected and stuff. I don't know how good it's gonna work. Maybe after the sun gets down a little bit and there's not as much light, but it's right there. Well, I say maybe once the sun gets down and there's not as much light, then it might look better. But with me, to me right now, it has a lot of glare on it, so I don't know if it's gonna work or not. we're gonna give it a shot. Let's see if we can get us a deer down. Not being too picky right now. Buck or doe, whichever. But we'll give it a shot. Y'all stay tuned.
So, turns out he likes my blind better and I can't get him to leave. He says he set it up for me, but he promised y'all to hunt the ghost blind. So he's going to. Get him out.
There's 2 does right in front of where we were yesterday. Would have been perfect shot, but if we were over there, they would have busted us, like the winded us. I don't know where they came from. They busted it.
Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video off right there. It was starting to get a little bit long, and we never did get the deer on camera. They all stayed around the corner to where I could see them. Couldn't get the camera on them, and it's just a couple of does and stuff anyway. But after looking at it in the video, the ghost blind looks pretty good. In person, it looked like it had a lot of glare in it. But like I said, we didn't ever get any deer to come in front of it, so I'll take it back out another time, and we'll try it out again and see how the deer react to it being in front of it. Because I don't know if they'll be able to catch that glare, or if it'll bother them or not. Other than that, it looked really good, and in the video you can hardly even see it. So with all that being said, y'all have a blessed rest of the week. I'll catch y'all later. See y'all.